Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we're going to go over the kit reveal for Rachel and Po Bia Ju. We're going to look at the SSR Plus unit first, so we're going to start with Rachel. We're going to look at the video to see the animations and also sort of the area of effect of the different skills. And then we're going to look at the descriptions without percentages, without duration, without exclusive equipment, without revolution, as usual, so very, very limited. Take everything I'm going to say with a grain of salt. Anything could change once we have the actual unit released in the game. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're also going to look at the developer notes because they added an important information about either a revolution or exclusive equipment. So there is an important effect we're going to cover. And that's about it. And we're going to move, obviously, to Ju. So let's watch the video and just comment a little bit on Rachel. Her model in game is fine, but the splash art I think is a bit too good looking for Rachel. But okay. The first active skill is going to deal AoE damage, followed by an additional AoE damage. And the second one is going to be a barrier with a counter mechanic. And the last one is going to be a charge up, like sort of a channeling, that is then going to deal AoE damage and knock back the enemies. Animation wise, pretty simple, nothing too fancy, it's okay, I would say. And that's all from this video. Now let's read the actual kit. We're going to start as usual from the passive. She's going to detect a certain number of treasures at a random location at the start of the battle and every number of seconds. This interval seems to be around 3, 5, 6 seconds, something like that. It's pretty short. I didn't bother to count exactly the interval from the video in the developer notes because, I mean, they just show us a unit at 0 dupes with Revolution 6. And last time for Yura, they manually added energy. So I don't trust them anymore. And so, yeah, I didn't even bother to count because maybe this number is going to decrease with dupes. I have no idea. So I just didn't even bother. But the interval seems to be short. And here, the treasure is probably going to be written as 1 in the description because treasure, otherwise it would have been treasures, I think. I don't know. But I think it's going to be 1. And then there's going to be a +1 either in Revolution or Exclusive Equipment because in the video in the dev notes, they spawned 2 treasures at a time. So I think that's going to be the case. And every time a treasure is detected, she's going to recover a percentage of her own HP. So again, some healing. Going to be super annoying as an enemy. For us, it's going to be garbage. Just keep that in mind. I think she's designed as an enemy pretty much. Then her defense is going to increase by a percentage for a duration. This has potentially unlimited stacks and cannot be removed. It's not too big of a deal because it has a duration. We don't know how long that's going to be. I would say either 8 or 10 seconds. I would expect something like that, but we have no idea. So as an enemy, this will be annoying, but maybe not excessively. And as an ally, I don't think we can rely on it. Maybe if you want to go with a resistance build, you can use it. But I don't know. I don't think I would do that. And more on that after we look at the developer notes. And when a treasure is created, it's going to explode after a certain duration, probably the same as the buff, so I would say 8 to 10 seconds, dealing percentage of her own defense as damage and stun enemies for a duration. Additionally, she's going to detect probably again 1 treasure that is going to become 2 with Revolution or Exclusive Equipment every time she uses 1 of her active skills. So that's going to be really good. You want to pair probably with Icarus or with Anniversary Yura or with both. So she's going to spam her active skills, spawn more treasures, and deal potentially good damage. So for now, on her own, she seems to be kind of weak, but if you place her in the right team, she might be really strong. We'll see. Then we have the Secret Guard active skill. She's going to summon a Stingray as a barrier. So she's going to have a barrier equal to percentage of her own max HP. Fine. And her own defense is going to be increased by a percentage. When she has the barrier active, she's going to counter enemy attacks, dealing percentage of her own defense and stunning them for a duration. This counter has a cooldown, so it's not like if 5 enemies attack you at the same time, all 5 are going to take the counter, only one of them. The cooldown seems to be 1 to 2 seconds, obviously short, is just to prevent you from being one-shotted when you attack her with your whole team. Because imagine having her as an enemy and your whole team attacks her, the Stingray is just going to one-tap you for no reason. So you will probably have to play Chomray every time you face Rachel so that she doesn't have the barrier up and she cannot counter. We'll see, but this could potentially still be annoying, but definitely way better than before. And for us, it doesn't matter how the counter is working because, I mean, we deal no damage anyway, so it's okay. Then we have the other active skill, the one with the AoE attack. So the first AoE that we saw in the video is going to have a defense steal on the enemy. We need to see how this one is going to work, because if it's similar to Yugo, you're going to decrease the enemy defense by the amount written here, but the cap is going to be on the amount you get as defense increase for Rachel. So hopefully it's the same, so that the defense decrease portion of it is going to be like, I don't know, if it's an 80% total with the max stacks, or maybe even 100%, so that they're going to actually lose that amount of defense, and your own increase can be whatever. That hardly matters, I would say. But yeah, just keep in mind, this should work like Yugo, but we don't know. This is definitely a good effect to have. If the total amount is like 80% plus, then it's going to be great. If it is like 60% or less, which I doubt, it could be garbage. So we'll see. And then she's going to explode treasure shards. Now, these are not the ones that are spawned on the field by the passive. So if you look again at the actual skill, she has one treasure there, but all the shards are spawned from the actual skill. So it's not consuming the ones in the field. I think they added this one just to show that to us. And considering there is only one, it further proves that the passive should only spawn one, but then Revolution likely will add the second. We'll see. But okay, just keep in mind, this whole exploding shards is not the ones you have on the field. Otherwise, it would be kind of countering the special move. So yeah, this is going to deal additional defense damage, so a percentage of Rachel defense's damage, and stun targets. So you have a massive AoE stun. Not too bad. If you can CC the enemies, this is definitely going to be appreciated. Then for the special move, she's going to consume all treasures. So this one is actually going to destroy them and scale based off of the amount of treasures you have on the field, and deal a percent of Rachel attack as damage, which is, I don't know why also this one has attack. It's irrelevant. She's probably not going to deal any kind of attack damage. And knock them back for a duration. For each treasure consumed, she's going to deal additional defense scaling damage as additional damage. And she becomes invincible while using the skill. So the more treasures you have, the more damage she's going to deal, which is cool. Potentially could get to a very good number because you're going to steal defense from the enemies. And the more starting defense you have, the more you're going to steal, and the higher the damage here is going to be. So Icarus as a support for her is likely mandatory, like 100% mandatory. And probably also Anniversary Yura, because they work really well together. And just in general, for the survivability, I think it's really important to have. We'll see, but those three are probably like they must be used together. And that's all for the kit. It looks very simple. If the percentages are not crazy high, the damage will be underwhelming. I will say that. But there is potential. Looks like a skippable unit. I think they designed her as an enemy more than anything. But could potentially be good also for us. I don't know. Looks like it for now. Now let's have a quick look at the developer notes. We're going to go directly to the point where she's going, like when they mention some important stuff. Like here, they said that she specializes in high impact attacks. Okay, so hopefully the special move actually deals a ton of damage. We'll see. Before we look at the video, let's also read a few more points. Her active skill, deliver powerful AoE strike against enemies, still in defense. Okay, fine. Treasures will also randomly appear. Okay. When she uses her special move, she absorbs all the treasure and deal damage based on defense. Fine. In addition, each time she detects a treasure, she gains a multi-hit shield, improving its durability. This one obviously was not written in the kit. This is likely going to be the revolution. So probably the revolution is going to increase the number of treasures from 1 to 2 and also add a shield every time a treasure is detected. So your active skills are going to refresh it, and also like the interval is going to refresh your multi-hit shield, which is good. It's probably good enough for a ranged unit to have this kind of shield. The durability is 8, but we're going to see it in a video. And that's more or less it. That's all they shared with us. So let's look at the video and comment a bit more. Here you see we have 2 treasures already, and she has 8 hit stacks. Now there are 2 additional ones. She has the multi-hit whatever thing. They also expired like after 10 seconds or so. So the stack duration, the treasure duration seems to be 10 seconds. And that's all we saw. We didn't really see a lot, but okay, should be more than enough maybe. And yeah, that's all for Rachel. I'm not too excited. Looks okay, but again, probably she will be a pain to deal with as an enemy. Gustang cannot really kill her unless you obviously have like HP recovery block and other things, because having that annoying HP recovery on the passive is going to be really a pain, and they're going to spam her with Icarus 100%, which Icarus is also a unit that Gustan cannot kill on his own, because every time he deals max HP damage, they heal it back. So you cannot really kill them unless you block the HP recovery, obviously. But okay, enough about Rachel. I think we can now talk about Ju. So for Po Bia Ju, again, super disappointed that she's, for some reason, an SSR. She's a Po Bia branch head. So high ranker, well, SSR, fine, I guess. But yeah, let's watch the video and then comment on the kit. This one is pretty basic, actually. So here we have it, a water gun.
Should we just ditch everything and hit
Green,
the water
ranged. Green was expected. Ranged, kind of. Wow, great design, just an attack. Here there is a teleport with conceal. And then the special move is summoning 3 carbs. Okay. This is the animation. Pretty cool. And that's it. Very, very basic. Now, let's read the actual kit. So for the passive, every time Ju or the 3 carbs that she spawned with the special move attack an enemy, they're going to mark them. This is every time you use basic attacks, not every single attack, but okay, you get the point. And when a marked enemy is attacked by green element ally skill, the mark explodes to deal a percentage of attack as damage and decrease green element resistance by percentage for a duration, maximum number of stuff. Okay, so this part is basically a more reliable Shane. So for everyone that did not have a Shane already, you can pull for Ju. She's going to be a must for bossing with Princess. Pretty sure about it. And this effect could also be good because here it says the mark explodes. There is no mention about it being removed. If it removes it, then it sucks. But if it doesn't remove it, then it could be pretty massive. And I'm going to mention why I think it's not going to be removed once we read again the developer notes. So for this part, pretty straightforward, really good buff to have. The percentage could be like a 60% like Shane, could be higher, like the total amount obviously with the maximum number of stacks. Could be even maybe an 80%, maybe even 100% like Augustus, who knows. But there is potential here, definitely good. And after a mark explodes, green element allies are also going to receive an attack increase buff. So nice, really nice as a support. There is a maximum number of stacks and these can be removed, but if the mark, like after they explode, are not removed, then you could reliably like spam it super easily, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Then we have the first active skill. She becomes invincible, hide within a water bubble, and teleport behind an ally. So that's what we saw before. And if there are no allies, she teleports to the location where the enemy's attack is the lowest. Okay. She's then going to be concealed for a duration. With her being ranged and with them giving the conceal here, they might want you to use Upgrund. We also have to keep in mind Upgrund is going to be buffed in September. So maybe they're already telling us the best set for her. Maybe they want us to run her with like as a DPS that also provides utility. Who knows? But okay. So while she's concealed, she's going to heal for a percentage of her max HP and recover a number of energy every second. Okay, cool. Then we have Bang Bang. This one was the very basic animation we saw before. So she's going to enhance her own basic attacks, increasing attack speed by duration, like by an amount for duration. Same thing as Mew Love. So this one seems to be sort of a Mew Love replacement of sorts. And also changes to a piercing water stream attack against the enemy, increasing the attack coefficient of her basic attacks by percentage. And this cannot be reactivated while her enhancement is active. So you cannot refresh it while it's still ongoing, which is good, so you don't lose time in animations. You can just wait to like for it to expire, and then she's going to cast it again. Then we have the special move. She's going to increase her own attack speed again and basic attack pierce as well, which is pretty cool. And she's going to summon the 3 carbs that are going to have a percentage of her stats. Hopefully, this is 100% or above, but we don't know. And she becomes immune to status effects while the skill is active. So overall, pretty solid. I think I will run her with L personally, because L is going to give her even more attack speed, even more attack, even more energy because of the higher attack speed, which means the special move is going to be up all the time. She's going to be immune to status effects, and she's not going to die because of the hit barrier. So even if they buff this like stupid upgrade like crazy, I think I will still run L on her, but we'll see. We'll try both after upgrade is obviously buffed. And that's it for the kit. Pretty basic. I don't know if she can actually be a DPS. Probably not. Maybe a sub DPS. But I think they designed her as a support for bossing, as we're going to see in the dev notes. So, not too excited. It's just a shame they decided to release her as an SSR. It makes no sense, but it's fine, I guess. So here we have it. Here they just quickly talked about the design. We don't care. Let's move on. She's a green element magic type range dealer who summons the carbs, whatever, blah, blah. Okay, let's watch the video and then we're going to read the rest. So here they're already using her with Princess. Okay, here she's attacking together with the carbs. Pretty cool, pretty fast as well. And there is no damage being dealt, but okay. Look also at how Princess is perma-invincible for no reason. Literally. They just changed the stuff here so much in these developer notes videos, it makes no sense. They just made Princess immortal because otherwise she would have died from work. It's crazy. But okay, we saw nothing pretty much other than maybe the extra damage from the multi-hits here from Princess, thanks to the passive, in theory, that Ju has with the explosion of the marks. So let's read what they say here. Her passive ability applies a carp mark to enemies, and when green element ally detonates this mark with a skill, it not only deals damage, but also greatly lowers the enemy green resistance, while boosting the attack of green allies. She's expected to show exceptional synergetic or whatever it's pronounced this word, I have no idea. With Princess of the Heart, they also, again, mistranslated here. There is no princess in the title, it's just enigmatic, but whatever. This translation team is just bad. Who specializes in multi-hit skills. This sentence here makes me think the explosion of the mark does not remove the mark. That's just how I feel it. Like, otherwise, it would make no sense to mention multi-hit. Because if you have a multi-hit skill, it means with every single hit, you are going to proc the explosion, which would be massive. But if this is just them being stupid and saying random shit out of nowhere, then too bad. What can we say? At the very least, you can reapply the mark quickly. So maybe with multi-hit skills, you can proc it 2-3 times, but I don't know. And they also say that she's a strong support option in boss battles against single targets. That's just how they designed her, and that's it. There is literally no additional information. This is all we see from the video, super basic. I don't know. I don't know if we can be excited about this unit. Obviously, yes, if you don't have Shane, you should be. And anyone that wants to do well in bossing obviously should be happy about it. But I'm just disappointed about how they kind of designed a branch head of the Po Bia family. It makes no sense to me. It's really weird. I mean, we could even see, I don't know, Robadon SSR at this point. No idea. Just random shit. But okay, enough for the kit reveal video. I will also release shortly the Dev Note video. I will obviously skip on these two parts because they've already been covered here, but okay. So I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.